You know, I was standing in front of my bathroom mirror the other morning, getting ready for the day, and I caught myself doing something absolutely ridiculous. I was rehearsing what I was going to say to someone later that day. And not just rehearsing, I was rehearsing the rehearsal. I was practicing confidence. And then it hit me like a ton of bricks. Here I am, a grown adult, practicing how to be confident in my own bathroom, talking to myself like I'm about to audition for a role in my own life. And you want to know the really wild part? I bet you've done the exact same thing. Maybe not this morning, but sometime recently you've stood there, looked at yourself, tried to pump yourself up, told yourself you've got this, and then walked out that door, feeling just as uncertain as when you walked in. So let me ask you something. If confidence is supposed to be this thing we just step into, why does it feel like we're always one step behind it, chasing it like it's a bus we keep missing? Here's what nobody tells you about confidence. We've been lied to. Not maliciously, but we've been fed this idea that confidence is something you either have or you don't. That some people just wake up with it, like they hit the genetic lottery, and the rest of us are stuck watching them live their best lives while we're over here second-guessing whether we should speak up in a meeting or if our opinion even matters. And I get it. I really do. You look around and everyone else seems so sure of themselves. They're posting on social media like they've got it all figured out. They're speaking up without that voice in their head telling them they sound stupid. They're taking risks while you're still calculating whether you'll survive the fall. And you start to think, what's wrong with me? Why can't I just be confident? Why does this feel so hard? Let me tell you something that's going to change everything for you. The reason you can't step into confidence isn't because you lack something. It's not because you're broken or defective or missing some crucial ingredient that everyone else got. The real reason is simpler and more profound than that. You've been looking for confidence in the wrong place. You've been treating it like it's a destination when it's actually a direction. Think about that for a second. We talk about stepping into confidence like it's a room we walk into, like once we're there, we're set. But confidence isn't a place. It's not a finish line. It's a practice. It's a muscle. And here's the kicker. You've been waiting to feel confident before you act, when the truth is, you have to act before you feel confident. Your brain is playing a trick on you, and it's not doing it to be mean. It's actually trying to protect you. See, your brain is still running on ancient software. Thousands of years ago, when our ancestors were living in caves and dodging predators, the brain developed this incredible survival mechanism. It learned that fitting in with the tribe meant safety, and standing out meant danger. Being different, taking risks, drawing attention to yourself, those things could get you kicked out of the group, and being alone in that world was a death sentence. So your brain created this alarm system designed to keep you small, keep you safe, keep you hidden, and that alarm system is still running today, even though you're not being chased by saber-toothed tigers anymore. Every time you think about doing something that requires confidence, speaking up, putting yourself out there, trying something new, that ancient alarm system kicks in. Your brain sounds the sirens. It floods you with doubt and fear and a million reasons why you shouldn't do it. It tells you you're not ready yet. You need more preparation. What if you fail? What if people judge you? What if you look stupid? And so you wait. You wait to feel ready. You wait to feel confident. You wait for that magical moment when all the doubt disappears and you just know you can do it. But here's what I've learned. After decades of studying success and human potential, that moment never comes. You never feel ready. You never feel completely confident. The most successful people in the world, the ones who look like they have unshakable confidence, they feel the same fear you do. They just do it anyway. There's this brilliant concept in psychology called the confidence-competence loop, and understanding this is going to unlock everything for you. Here's how it works. You can't become competent at something without doing it, and you can't feel confident about doing something until you've become competent at it. See the problem? It's a loop. You're waiting for confidence to take action, but confidence only comes from taking action. So you're stuck. You're waiting for something that can only arrive after you've already done the thing you're afraid to do. It's like standing at the edge of a pool, waiting to get wet before you jump in. It's not going to happen. You have to jump first. The wetness comes after. And this is where most people get paralyzed. They think they need to fix themselves first. They think they need to read more books, take more courses, get more degrees, lose more weight, make more money, become more something before they're allowed to be confident. But that's just the brain's protection mechanism kicking in again. It's giving you busy work so you never have to face the actual fear. Because here's the truth that nobody wants to hear. You're never going to feel ready. You're never going to feel like you've arrived. You're never going to wake up one day and feel completely different. The version of you that has confidence is the same version of you that exists right now. The only difference is that version is willing to act without the feeling. So how do you fix this? How do you actually step into confidence when every fiber of your being is telling you to wait, to prepare more, to make sure you're absolutely ready? Let me give you a framework that's going to change the game for you. And I want you to really hear this because it's deceptively simple but incredibly powerful. Confidence is built in tiny moments of courage. Not big moments, not grand gestures, not dramatic life changes. Tiny moments, micro moments, where you feel the fear and you do it anyway. Where you speak up even though your voice shakes. Where you try even though you might fail. Where you show up even though you don't feel ready. Here's what this looks like in practice. First, stop waiting for the feeling. This is crucial. Stop telling yourself you'll do it when you feel more confident. That's the trap. Confidence is the result, not the requirement. Instead, identify one small action that scares you a little bit. Not something that terrifies you, just something that makes you slightly uncomfortable. Maybe it's speaking up in a meeting. Maybe it's posting something on social media. Maybe it's introducing yourself to someone new. Maybe it's wearing something you love but feel self-conscious about. Whatever it is, it should be small enough that you can do it today, but big enough that it stretches you slightly. Second, do that thing before you're ready. This is the magic step. Set a deadline. Make it soon. Give yourself no time to overthink it. Because here's what happens when you give yourself too much time. Your brain has space to build up the fear. It starts running simulations of everything that could go wrong. It creates horror movies in your mind about all the ways you might fail. But when you compress the timeline, you don't give your brain enough time to sabotage you. You just act. And action is the antidote to fear. Third, notice what happens. This is the part most people skip, and it's why they don't build lasting confidence. After you do the thing, pause and actually observe the results. Did you die? Did the world end? Did everyone point and laugh? Almost certainly not. In fact, you probably discovered that the thing you were afraid of wasn't nearly as scary as your brain made it out to be. Maybe people responded positively. Maybe nobody even noticed. Maybe you felt a little rush of pride for doing it. Whatever happened, acknowledge it. Write it down. Let your brain register that you survived, that you acted without the feeling, and you were okay. Fourth, repeat. This is where confidence is actually built. Not in one heroic moment, but in the repetition. You do the small thing, you survive. You do it again, you survive again. And slowly, so slowly you might not even notice at first, your brain starts to rewire. It starts to learn that the alarm system was wrong, that you can do hard things, that discomfort isn't danger, that you are more capable than you thought. And that, my friend, is confidence. It's not a personality trait you're born with. It's evidence you collect about yourself through repeated action. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. But what if I fail? What if I try and it goes badly? What if I embarrass myself? And here's where I need you to shift your entire perspective. Failure isn't the opposite of confidence. Avoidance is. Every time you avoid doing something because you're afraid, you're sending a message to your brain that confirms the fear was valid. You're reinforcing the belief that you're not capable. You're strengthening that ancient alarm system. But every time you try, even if you fail, you're proving something more important. You're proving that you're brave, that you're willing, that you're in the game. And that is worth more than any perfect performance. There's this incredible quote I love. Confidence is not, they will like me. Confidence is, I'll be fine if they don't. Read that again. Confidence isn't about controlling outcomes. It's not about guaranteeing success. It's about knowing that whatever happens, you can handle it. You'll survive. You'll learn. You'll try again. That's the confidence that actually matters. Not the confidence that you'll be perfect, but the confidence that you'll be resilient. Let me give you something practical you can do right now, today, to start building this. I call it the discomfort practice. Every single day, do one thing that makes you slightly uncomfortable. Just one. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It just has to stretch you a tiny bit beyond your comfort zone. Maybe you make eye contact with strangers for 3 seconds longer than you normally would. Maybe you ask a question in a group setting. Maybe you share an opinion you'd usually keep to yourself. Maybe you go somewhere alone you'd normally only go with friends. The specific action doesn't matter as much as the practice of doing it, because what you're really doing is teaching your brain that discomfort is survivable. You're collecting evidence that you're capable. You're building a new identity, one tiny action at a time. And here's something beautiful that starts to happen when you do this consistently. You stop needing external validation as much, because you're building internal validation. Every time you do the hard thing, you're proving to yourself that you're the kind of person who does hard things. You're not waiting for someone else to give you permission or approval. You're giving it to yourself through your actions. And that is unshakable confidence. That's the kind of confidence that doesn't disappear when someone criticizes you or when you make a mistake. Because it's not based on external circumstances. It's based on your relationship with yourself and your willingness to show up even when it's scary. Now, I want you to do something for me. After you finish watching this, I want you to identify one specific action you're going to take today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Something small that requires a tiny bit of courage. Write it down, set a time, and do it before your brain has time to talk you out of it. Then come back here and leave a comment telling me what you did. Not because I need to know, but because the act of declaring it and then following through is going to reinforce the new pattern you're building. You're going to prove to yourself that you're someone who takes action, and that proof is going to compound. Here's what I know to be true. You already have everything you need to be confident. You don't need to become someone else. You don't need to wait until you're perfect or ready or certain. You just need to be willing to act without the feeling. To do the thing that scares you before you feel like you can. To collect evidence about your own capability, one small courageous act at a time. Confidence isn't something you find, it's something you build. And you build it the same way you build anything worthwhile. One decision at a time. One action at a time. One moment of courage at a time. The version of you that you admire. The one who speaks up and takes risks and lives boldly. That person isn't someone you become someday. That person is you right now, making a different choice. So what's it going to be? Are you going to wait for confidence to arrive like it's a package being delivered? Or are you going to start building it today, right now, with one small, brave action? The choice has always been yours, and the time has always been now. If this resonated with you, hit that subscribe button because we're just getting started. Drop a comment below with the one thing you're committing to do today. And remember, you're not waiting for confidence, you're building it. Let's go.